As I sat down to watch the debate last night, I was thinking about the three of you and the conversation that we had about 24 hours ago. Rhonda, I know that immigration and the cost of the wars was a concern of yours, as was the age of President Biden and his mental competency. Mitch, you were concerned about January 6th and Trump's handling and the economy. And Daryl, I know you wanted to hear about crime. Rhonda, let me start with you and the immigration issue. Here's a clip of both of the candidates talking about that issue last night.
We don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime.
I'm not saying no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
Rhonda, on this issue, which of those answers gave you hope for addressing the immigration issue at our border?
Both answers were bad. I really was hoping that Biden would address the issue head on and talk about what his plan was for the border. The reality is we're seeing every single day another crime committed by somebody who got through the border. And I think Donald Trump calling it out the way he did actually supported his position on the border. I think we're weak on the border. And unfortunately, throughout the entire debate, I don't think Biden truly addressed any of the issues, and he could have. You asked me yesterday, is stamina an issue for me? And the answer is absolutely. I thought last night was a disaster for Biden on immigration and, frankly, most of the issues. But I also looked at Trump, and I do believe that he lied about a lot of things. So it's, where are we left? I almost wish that we did have JFK on the stage last night, because I don't know where I go from here. It's very, very difficult to decide.
Right. And you had said he was not a factor. You didn't want to see him on that stage. It's interesting to see that your thought about that may have changed. Mitch, January 6th was one of the things that troubled you, that you shared with us about Donald Trump. As a Republican but undecided in this election, he addressed and was questioned about January 6th last night. Let's listen to that.
On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at.
Did that response ease any of your concerns, Mitch, about what happened on January 6th and Trump's part in it?
Well, it seems like, he also said at a different point in the debate that he would accept the results if the election was free and fair. But I think the problem with that is that isn't an unqualified yes. I thought Trump overall, relative to Biden, had a very strong performance. I would have still liked to see, an unqualified yes. I think it would just be good for the country that, we've had problems the last few election cycles with the losing candidate, be it Trump or Clinton, be essentially sore losers and say that, the election result was in some way invalid, obviously some more than others. But I would like to see, I think it would be healthy for whoever wins, or rather whoever loses, to concede regardless of whether they personally deem it to be fair based on their own, internal set of criteria.
Yeah. Capability for office, seeming and appearing presidential, giving you the confidence that either of these candidates are presidential. Daryl, I'm going to give you the first crack at the elephant in the room last night as we look at a clip really focused on the candidate's age issue.
I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent.
The response after the debate was fierce. It was fast. That Biden's age was an issue last night and his mental competency. Daryl, how did you receive his debate performance, and what are your concerns?
Listen, I don't know any other way to say this than to be totally honest. You know, I'm a taxpayer, and he sucked. Biden sucked.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.